You're not paranoid.
Not it.
1, 2, 3. Not it. 1, 2, 3. You're it.
Hello.
Are we doing? So let's see. We are doing.
Are we
an
doing
episode.
this?
We're doing this. We're doing an episode on something very terrifying that many people experience.
On the You're Not Paranoid
Oh yeah,
podcast.
so this is our podcast. Oh shoot. Hey, we assumed that you already were listening, but maybe you're not. Maybe you just tuned in.
Maybe you skipped all that part.
Maybe you're like, their microphones are off. We don't really want to listen to I'm just kidding. Don't be
Maybe
mad.
they're like, let's try again.
Let's try
Episode
one more time.
6,
Number 6.
Maybe they got it.
Well, we
don't.
kind of do.
I mean,
The microphones are
the
on.
microphones are on.
We're
Check.
recording.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And you're listening. Check number 3.
I'm listening.
I meant like the listeners listening, so that's cool.
One person.
Yeah.
2
I'm
people.
listening to you.
3.
The dogs?
Maybe at
Seth?
5.
The dog, Seth. Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
but
mean-
yeah, so we'll just remember to say what the podcast is.
Yeah, so this is our podcast.
You're
it is-
not.
Oh.
Uh,
It is called You're
Not.
Paranoid.
Yeah.
That was like a little creed, like, yeah. Yes.
That's
and,
Kylie.
Yeah, and that's Katie.
Hello.
And we're both in the same room using
Finally.
microphones, so I don't sound as far away. We figured that out, so we're good. Everything's fine.
Kylie nixed the talking into the computer microphone. with
Yeah,
our
I
faces
didn't.
touching.
Yeah, my voice was not loud enough. I was whispering the whole time in Katie's ear. I didn't realize you have to actually talk into the computer microphone.
Yeah, and then I would do her voice for her.
when it got real loud, it was awkward. But we enjoyed it. It was kind of weird, but now we have money and we bought microphones, so
It's all good.
it's all good in the podcast
Baby.
neighborhood. Inglewood.
Mm,
That's a song.
is it?
It is. It's from Hold Up. Yeah.
Hello, people.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so this is
You
our
know.
podcast. We talk about, so what do we talk about, Katie?
We talk about things that you get called paranoid for caring about.
And talking about, and we like talking about it because it helps us sleep better at night.
Yeah.
Wink.
Wink. Wink.
Because this has something to do with that in this episode. But for real, like, people call us paranoid because you just said that. But
Yeah.
we want to talk about it and it helps us feel better. And if you feel like that too, then you can relate to us and we can relate to you.
Yes, because this podcast is like, no.
Excuse me, these things do happen. And
Excuse me?
here are the facts as best as we can.
Yeah.
And we also have sources, so we're not making
And we're
this
going to
up.
cite them.
On the website, you'renotparanoid.com.
Nice. Nice
Find
plug.
it. Thanks. I was like, this is the spot. Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in.
Mm.
So now we are going to talk about things that
Go bump in the night.
and maybe you lose sleep over it.
Ooh.
Like we do. I've actually never experienced these things that we're going to talk about personally. Have you?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Thank
But they're very
Jesus.
common, actually.
Yeah.
More than you'd think. So, what are we talking about?
Sleep paralysis.
Oh, no. Isn't that thing where
Is that one thing
you can't move when you're sleeping?
while you're sleeping?
But which you're not supposed to move when you're sleeping, but all of a sudden you're sleeping and then you're awake, but you can't move as if you are paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
So, Katie,
Yes.
tell us, where did this come from? Who started these things? Well, not that anyone started
One
on like a button.
person. It's a virus. One person infected a
Ooh,
person.
that sounds like a zombie movie.
All right. Sleep paralysis. Where is it? Where did it come from?
Who owns it? Can it affect you?
The CDC.
How long has it been around?
I'm trying to patent it as we sleep.
Oh my god. Patent it? What do you mean?
I don't know.
You can't patent a thing that happens to people because then they'd owe you money for every time it happens to you.
What about like Inception?
Ooh, so they pay you in your dreams?
Sure.
Dream money. That's a thing. We should make that a thing.
All right.
Higher level of thinking. Dream money.
Dream money. So I was going to start off with the, how do you say it? Etymology.
Oh, yes.
Of the word nightmare.
Ooh. I saw something about this. Tell me more.
Oh, well, if you already know that.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know.
Just kidding.
I just saw the word breakdown and I was like, that's Katie's part. And I moved on.
It's derived from the Old English mare, not
like
a horse.
Okay, I was like, nah. That's a goat.
Nay.
There it is. There it is.
That was animal sounds
with Katie and Kylie.
There you go. Mare is a mythological demon or goblin.
Ew.
Who torments others with frightening dreams.
Well, I wouldn't assume it's like happy dreams, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, and then I think they just stuck the night on to like emphasize that it happens at night.
Oh, got it. So you're not just going around having goblins torture you.
So it's not like daydreams.
Got it. Because those are usually happier.
Night. Well, yeah.
Unless you're in Nightmare on Elm Street, then you got problems.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that.
Oh my.
Surprise.
Okay, we're going to have to do, that could be the Patreon one day, is you watching these scary movies and talking about it.
Ooh. I don't know if anyone wants it. I mean, it might be entertaining.
Yeah. Just to hear your commentary. You don't have to even watch it, just to hear you talk about it.
Okay. I mean,
one day.
Sure.
One day.
One day.
Sorry.
So, anyways.
My bad.
The first one, or they claim that one of the first clinical descriptions of sleep paralysis was in 1664.
Wait, 60? I thought there was 3 6s.
No, ooh,
but there's 2.
It was close.
That's a long time ago.
By a Dutch physician.
Hmm.
He basically described a woman who, while sleeping, said that she felt like the devil was laying on her, holding her down, and sometimes she would be choked by a great dog or thief lying on her chest.
Well, that sounds like a
and she wasn't
great
able
night.
And she wasn't able to move her members, aka her arms and
phalanges,
legs, and her metatarsals. And then what they know is well, it's not funny, but his diagnosis was that it was like a demon, or
I mean,
they call it the nightmare.
I'm sorry, but if someone told me that, I would tell them the same thing. Like, this is a demon inside of you.
Mm-hmm. Or
was this in like his
medical?
Okay, yeah, on top of you.
He's a physician.
Right. Okay, so it's like in his medical notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah. So that's that.
Oh dear, so it goes way back.
Yes, and then I'm sure that you've seen this picture. One of the most famous depictions of it, 1781.
Mm-hmm.
The painting is called, guess what it is?
Demon on person's chest.
No, The Nightmare.
Oh.
By Swiss painter Henry Fuseli.
Okay. Let's see.
That one.
Yes, I did see that. And I don't sleep like that personally, like draped over.
Yeah.
But I feel like you'd have like a lot of blood to your brain. But more importantly,
look at that guy.
Ooh, he's looking right at you too.
I know. That's, I think, the creepy part of the painting is that the demon's sitting on her chest, but it's staring at the viewer.
I feel like it's so that you feel what she feels, but also imagine yourself being looked at by, like, imagining you're basically visualizing what it would be like to be her and see him look at you. But since you're not there, you're in front of the page.
Yeah, it's creepy.
That's good art. That's good art.
Yeah. So it's very common throughout history, popping up in paintings like that and such. So what I was going to do a couple definitions, but they get interchanged quite frequently. Like incubus versus succubus. The article I was reading said that at one point they were distinguished between male and female.
That's what I saw too.
Like non-sexual versus like sexual. But I guess nowadays they're kind of just the same. It means a demon.
Got it.
So, I don't
but
know.
in those contexts, they were more sexual than they were. Yikes.
Yeah. So these types of demons that come while you are sleeping and have sleep paralysis, and they usually sit on your chest and make you feel like you can't breathe, or they're standing over you. Basically found everywhere. And then there's like a few that have similar themes that are kind of different. Okay. I found that there's a few countries that have the demon as an unbaptized baby, which attacks people in their beds and cuts off their respiration by jumping on their chest and grasping at their throats.
Where is the demon baby's mother?
Okay, but how do you know it's unbaptized? Do you
so
ask
many questions.
it?
Yeah, I'd be like, excuse me, before you choke me, can you please tell me, are you baptized?
While
yes or no?
He's choking you.
Where is your mother? Is what I'm mouthing.
It's like goo goo gaga.
I'm not baptized. Oh my gosh, that's horrifying. Yeah. I'm picturing Katie being a demon baby saying that, and I don't like it.
Well,
no offense. I mean, you'd be an adorable demon baby, but also
not.
I'd rather you not jump on my chest.
Okay,
please.
I got it. Kylie says not to jump on the chest. Okay,
thanks for writing that down.
You're welcome. Then also throughout history, apparently, these demons were used as the excuse for how unmarried women became pregnant.
That's convenient.
Yeah. And I thought that was kind of like, oh, that's classic. Like, I don't know, Dad, how I got pregnant. It
must have been a demon. Ew, I don't want to say what I was going to say, but yeah.
Sadly, and then to just like really take it down.
Uh-oh.
They'd also use it to cover up incest and rape.
Oh, so, that's not okay.
Which, I mean, it kind of was a demon if someone's doing that. But
yeah, that's 100% not okay.
We go from... I have like a lot more in-depth historical context if we want to do that.
Let's dive in with the demon baby.
Because apparently it's shows up in like real ancient texts.
Ooh, I like ancient stuff.
One of the first succubi is called Lilith.
Is that a girl?
Yes.
Demon? Okay.
It's the earliest reference is from 2400 BC.
Wow.
She was a she-demon, which bore children from nocturnal unions with men.
Wait, can you say that again?
So she would bear children from her unions at night.
Katie's twinkle fingers for unions. Creepy.
With men.
Also, so she's like, a she-man, is what we're saying.
She-man.
Okay. That's... scary.
Yeah. She was considered a vampire and a harlot, or the beautiful maiden.
Wait, so she's real?
No.
Okay.
This is like the ancient like folklore surrounding her.
Got it. I think I know where the demon babies came from. Her.
Well,
Lilith, the she-man.
That's probably it.
Yeah, and then everyone gets their things. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, apparently this is like along the same kind of line as the Gilgamesh. Like whatever, if you had to read that. Epic story, poem thing.
Got it.
I don't know.
Didn't read it.
There's a nice quote that says, once she chooses a lover, he's hers forever. And then there's a lot about her in Hebrew texts and stuff. I didn't know any of this. Probably because I'm not Jewish. She's also in the Bible, where she is referred to as a screech owl.
Ew.
Well, that's kind of
a
sexist.
Screech owl. Because she's... Okay. Also, when you said the thing, we can always move this back if you want. But I was like, ooh, good comeback. But, you know, like that thing where you think of it 5 hours later.
No, do it.
This is only like 1 minute later. It's like, he is hers forever. Now I'm butchering it. But, wow, she's like really clingy. Dig in those Screech owl talons. Forever.
Basically, she also haunts women during childbirth.
Ooh. As if it's not hard enough.
Yep. Apparently, even today in some of Israel's maternity wards, Jewish women of Middle Eastern extraction can be
where they're born.
Yeah, can be found wearing amulets to protect themselves from her power.
Okay. Yeah, like you wear garlic for vampires. You wear amulets for Lilith, the she-man. Okay.
So the backstory in the like Jewish religious history was that she was believed to be the first woman and Adam's first wife before Eve showed up. And I was like, ooh, drama.
Yikes. She's like, I was here first.
I had him first. You can have my leftovers.
Yeah. And then she became the snake, which then bit.
The one thing I kind of like about her, according to this tradition.
Is there anything to like about her?
Well, she's kind of like standing up for herself.
Okay, but she's fake.
She refused to lie with Adam because she thought that they were equals since they were created together at the same time and both from dust. And then God and Adam were like, get the heck out of here kind of thing.
Where did they put her?
Well, apparently they didn't like that. And so she uttered God's secret name.
What's that?
It's a secret.
The secret word is?
I don't know. So then she did that, transformed into a dragon and flew away.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
She flew to the Red Sea where she was pursued by angels sent by God.
Like, take her down.
Yeah. They basically said she had to go back with Adam or be drowned in the sea.
So she turned into a dragon and flew the heck away.
Nope.
Oh, that's when the angels got there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What did she say?
She was like,
she was like, well.
That's what dragons sound like.
She was like, I was created in order to weaken the babes. If it is a male, I have power over him from the moment of his birth until the 8th day of his life, which is when he is circumcised. Is that why they do it? I don't know. And then she says, if I see an amulet, I shall do no harm to a child. Okay. And so then God brought her out from the sea and gave her power over all the children. And she fled and wandered around the world, finding children to kill and mistreat, apparently.
That sounds like bad news for all the children.
Yep. And so she kind of continues to be showing up throughout.
Hovering over history.
Yes. Those stories.
Creepy. And that's why she's kind of ubiquitous.
Yeah. So.
Across generations.
Like, I don't know if I'd want to name my kid Lily after that.
Lilith is a pretty name, though.
That is a pretty name.
But I'm now glad that I know where that comes from because, yeah, not really ideal to be named after a shaman. But. Yeah,
probably not. So that's that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
And that's in the official text?
In the Talmud.
The Hebrew.
Because I had to look it up. It's the Hebrew book of religious law and, like, practices.
Okay.
Not the Torah.
Got it. I got it in the way of, as best as I can understand at this moment, I got it.
Yes. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's super interesting.
But they're not the only ones that have their history of the sleep paralysis demons. Mm-hmm. Brazil has some. I thought this one was funny. So in Brazil and the Amazon rainforest basin, they have their version, which is a dolphin. And the dolphin, they think, is a combo of an incubus and a siren.
That's scary.
And so it shapeshifts
into the happiest creature in the world.
No, so it apparently shapeshifts into a handsome man to seduce young women and take them into the river. And then I heard that they're always seen wearing a hat because even in a shape-shifted form, they have their blowhole and they have to hide it.
If I was dating someone and I noticed their blowhole, I'd be out of there very quickly. No, Katie, no. That is not okay.
I'm just winking, by the way.
Right. She can't wink, but she tried.
I don't know how.
Yeah, that's awful. That's hilarious. There's a lot going on in that story, by the way. How did that one come about?
I don't know. But
someone threw that together and was like, this is believable. This will scare the children.
Yep. That's another one where they were, these shape-shifting dolphins were also blamed for disappearances and unwanted pregnancies.
Yikes. That would be some story, though, to have to explain.
Yeah.
This dude with a blowhole
I don't know. I was
kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Or somehow seduced me, and here we
Yeah.
are now.
It's not my secret boyfriend.
With the blowhole. The blowhole boyfriend. That is so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, but we don't mean it to be. What?
That's just weird. We're laughing uncomfortably.
Yeah. Swedish folklore, that can go back all the way to the 13th century from like Norse mythology.
Ooh, like the Vikings.
Yeah. So theirs is a actual horse, goblin.
The Norse horse.
The Norse horse that rides on the chests of humans when they sleep, giving them bad dreams.
That's way worse than a demon. Horses are heavy.
I know.
A heavy
like
Norse horse.
It has to be like proportionate to be like
Sounds like a baby pony.
Like a baby pony demon.
Well, ponies are babies, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then because that's what's interesting about that painting too. In the background, there's that weird horse.
It's the backup.
He's
backup demon.
He's like, hey, you need to,
like when we ship.
You need me to just like prance on her chest.
Yeah, yikes.
Ooh, the other one that I thought was fun. We can learn about where genies come from.
Genies?
Genies. These are jinns.
You're looking at me like I have the answer. I do not have the answer.
JINNS.
Okay.
These are spirits or demons, or more broadly, a supernatural creature in Islam. In pre-Islamic Arabian and later Islamic mythology and theology.
And also in Aladdin.
Yes. So jinns are not strictly Islamic, but they were actually part of the various pagan religions before, and then they were integrated in.
Oh, interesting.
And then that's where the English word genie comes from.
Oh, okay.
For like the spirits. So that's their version.
Okay. They haunt you in your dreams and grant you wishes.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of other ones going. So that's like throughout more ancient times. I don't know if you'll talk about this one in the 90s.
Nope.
Okay. So cut to 1991. All this stuff is still going on. So now they were trying to investigate why people were dying in their sleep suddenly. And they called it sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome.
That's not good.
Or SUNDS.
Okay.
Apparently, in certain Southeast Asian ethnic groups, since 1977, were dying very mysteriously and somewhat at a frequent rate. More than 100 people from 1977 to 1991, I'm assuming, because that's when the article was published.
Yeah.
Particularly in immigrant Laotian, HMONG. That's the ethnic group.
Say it again.
HMONG.
Hmong.
So Laotian Hmong men in good health with a median age of 33 were dying at a rate of 92 out of every 100,000 because of the SUNDS.
But they didn't have any like actual signs of injury or anything like that. They just wouldn't wake, and they were young or like not.
Yeah, in their early
like
30s.
Passing in their sleep. Maybe drugs.
Nope. So one study showed a link between sleep paralysis, which weirdly in this community was 2 to 4 times higher of instances happening versus everyone else.
Wow.
Which is kind of weird. So they think it was a combo of the sleep paralysis, stress, and the belief in the dab song.
Dab, like putting your arms up, dab.
So it's 2 words, DAB, and then the second word is TSOG.
Nope, don't have that.
It is a crushing nightmare spirit which sits on your chest and takes your breath. So they were thinking, since that's already in the culture, plus combined with stress, and they just happen to have a higher instance of sleep paralysis, they think all of that combined was leading to these deaths.
Maybe like overwhelming stress. You're have like a heart attack almost or something.
And then if you believe that this thing exists,
and
is like hanging out, waiting for you to sleep, to kill you,
like Freddy Krueger, but actually killing you.
Yeah. And so what I thought was interesting about this story was, and so that's what they call it, is they called this sudden unexplained whatever nocturnal death syndrome.
Like that was the official cause of death.
Yeah. And so, and the 35 years late, like since that was first identified among the Hmong, the CDC's initial statement on the cause of death is still unknown.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think that they would have taken like blood samples, or, I mean, I don't know how detailed they went into it. You would think.
If it was like a full-on study by the CDC.
It's like an epidemic almost.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the rate. I don't know epidemic statistics, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, so that's kind of...
Ooh, I have like body chills
I know.
just like thinking about that.
So,
that really happens.
I mean, you can look up pictures of interpretations of the different like cultures.
Yeah.
Demons, and they're really creepy.
We'll post them on the website under stuff we mentioned in the episodes area.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I had for the history.
Interesting.
Of sleep paralysis.
Point is, it's been around for a long time.
I didn't know.
Seems like it's not going anywhere.
Which means it kind of gives credence to like, so I guess, you know, like it's easy to be like, oh, you were just having a nightmare, or like you were just sleeping, but
it's super specific.
It's very specific, and even though they have different names for the people, like the demons and stuff, it's always the same symptoms of feeling that pressure on your chest and then seeing something.
You are correct.
Ugh.
Shall we talk about the medical side of this?
Yeah, hit me with that science.
Hit me with your science. Ooh, I didn't hit that note. That was bad.
That's fine.
You can cut that. Okay. I'm going to give you a description of one person's story.
Ooh.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And then I'll say, like I have it in words like, describe sleep paralysis. Imagine this.
Ooh, I just got the chills.
Yep.
I'm scared now.
Okay, so this is from IFL Science, which stands for I freaking love science.
Freaking love it.
I freaking love surprises. This is the quote. I awake in bed. In the corner of the room, there are two men. I cannot see them, but I know they are there and what they look like. I can hear them talking. They're talking about murder. I cannot move. One of the men comes and stands directly above me. He spits, and his spit lands in the socket of my closed eye. I can feel the impact, the wetness, the trail of slime. That's what we're talking about.
Yuck.
Ew, no one likes being spit in the eye.
Yeah, that's just rude.
Not cool.
That's
she wakes up, it's like her brother, like right in her face.
Maybe.
But it wasn't.
It was a demon.
So let's talk about regular sleeping. I'm going to cover this very quickly. So normal sleeping has 5 phases. 4 of them are non-REM, and one of them is the REM sleep. REM. REM. It's an acronym. Not the band. That was just a dream. That's me in the corner. Being abducted tonight. Nope. REM stands for rapid eye movement, which is literally where you're sleeping and your eyes are like looking all over, but your eyes are closed because you're sleeping. So they're moving around quickly, and it's the period of time that you're having dreams, which is actually a pretty short period of time in the overall scheme of your night of sleeping.
Interesting.
So while you're having REM sleep, your body is totally relaxed. It's in a paralyzed state, which medically is called REM atonia.
REM atonia.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. I really should start looking these up. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Atonia. It's ATONIA. Atonia.
Sure.
So it's been quoted that because the muscles are immobilized, but yet the brain is very active, this stage of sleep is sometimes called a paradoxical sleep. Because, like I said, you can't physically move, but your brain's going a million miles an hour.
Interesting.
But this is you sleeping, obviously, and you digest your thoughts and blah, blah, blah. And that's how your dreams are. And then you dream about things you need to dream about so that your brain can psychologically digest everything and physiologically reset. Ugh, my voice cracked. physiologically reset. So our bodies do this to protect us. You have that paralyzed state, because what if you were to actually act out your dreams? That would not be good. There is a type of illness or like a sleep disorder where people are able to act out their dreams, but we can talk about that in another episode.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be a really cool one.
Let's do it. Write it down.
But yeah, there are some dreams that I definitely would not want to act out. Like I had one dream about these pirate Muppets that were coming to get me. I remember. Did I tell you about that?
The one where you're terrified of them.
Yeah. I was a little kid. I was like 7 years old, and I'll just tell you really quick. I was in my house. This is a dream, a nightmare. And all of a sudden, like I look out, and it was the pirate Muppets. I could see them trying to get in with their like pitchforks. And they're like, oh, she's in there. I'm like, oh no. And I remember I like run up the stairs. They come in, and I'm in the... Katie, dang it. No more yawning. You're going to drink coffee for the rest of your life.
I know.
Only during my stories does she yawn. Okay, so I'm in the bathroom. I close the door. I can still hear them. I'm in the shower, and I can just see through the glazed glass that they're opening the door.
Ew.
And then I wake up. No, I'm not showering like a little kid. I'm just like hiding in the shower. Like that's going to help anything. Come on now. Come on, baby Kelly.
Wow.
That's not going to help. So anyways, yeah, so our bodies relax in order to protect us from acting out our dreams. So that one, what I was describing where people, did I already say that it's called REM behavior disorder? No. That's where you actually act out your dreams. Yes. And that's the one we're not going to talk about. Talk about that in another episode. So doctors believe that sleep paralysis begins when your body has a difficult time transitioning in between the other sleep cycles and REM sleep.
That makes sense.
The sleep paralysis can mostly happens either during the, I'm going to try to say this, hypnagogic or the hypnopompic, which are either the falling asleep or the waking up phases.
Okay.
So it's going to happen either of those, usually in between those times. Not in between, but during those phases. Either waking up, coming to, or falling asleep, passing out. So hallucination can also happen during either of those phases.
That's the creepy part.
Yeah. So howstuffworks.com explained this. So basically when you're falling asleep, you kind of rationalize it like, oh, this is what's happening. And rather when you're waking up and you hallucinate, you're trying to make sense of it, like incorporate it into like actually what's happening and digest what's happening. So you think it's more real.
And I think that's probably more scary too.
Yeah, way more scary. When you're like, how, like, and it basically, those hallucinations fit into your surrounding environment.
Yeah.
More so than if you're falling asleep, you're like, oh no, that's not real. Because I'm just like half asleep. So I looked at the sleep doctor website. Pretty interesting. Basically, the sleep doctor describes sleep paralysis as the fact that it's typically confined to REM sleep, but during sleep paralysis, it spills over into the other sleep stages. Okay. So it's kind of like that blending. It's not, normal people have more distinct phases of the sleep cycle.
Okay.
There's a lot of gray area with sleep paralysis where you're basically having a difficult time transitioning. So basically it's spilling over into those stages where you're awake and conscious of your body's inability to move or speak, which then includes that hallucinating. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the thing is, people aren't hallucinating about puppies and butterflies. As you alluded to. As history shows, it's pretty crazy that everyone has hallucinated. I wish it was hallucinating about happy things.
How cool would that be? What if little puppies were jumping on your chest
and licking your face and spitting in your eye socket?
Well, maybe not that part.
I feel like that ends up happening anyways, but not like grossly like that. So unfortunately, the things that people do see are ghosts or demons or alien type of creatures. It can vary. I think back in the day it was probably easier. Like the most common thing was demons because that was more of the religious aspect of it. So the other thing is that in addition to there being the hallucinations, there was also an unmistakable and primitive sensation that a menacing being or entity has invaded your space. How awful is that?
I don't want to go to bed tonight.
I know. Oh, and also a note. So not only, like, sometimes when you're having these sensations, your eyes can be open, but they don't always have to be open.
Oh, okay.
So you can, so the paralysis part of it, your body can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that you can consciously move, you cannot move. But things that you do not consciously have control over, like in air quotes, like your breathing, you can still breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still hear. So that's pretty interesting. You just can't physically do anything about it, which is awful. So some of the hallucinations come in the form of like smells or sounds. So it's not all the same. So people can experience it all sorts of ranges. Like I said, I already said that. But even though they can't move, they can still breathe, and they can see. They can even see sometimes. So if their eyes are open, obviously they can see what's happening.
For some reason, I always thought sleep paralysis was with the eyes open.
Yeah, so I don't think it has to always. I think that's where you can like smell or see. And even that girl where like landed in her eye socket or something.
Yeah,
maybe her eyes were open. I pictured her eyes being more closed at that point, and she just knew. So they say there's like this overall feeling and sense of doom. That you just know you're in a bad situation. And like when you're waking up, like I don't know about you, but when I wake up, I do not want to be bothered, let alone getting spit in my eye or feeling like doomed and not being able to, So it's very common, like you said, that the person feels like there's a really heavy weight on their chest and they're unable to breathe. And I wrote, that's probably because of the demon. And the thing is, like, this doesn't have to, like, there's not a specific set amount of time that this lasts. So this can last for a few seconds, but it can also last up to a few minutes.
Yikes.
And I'm sure once, like, if you're actually enduring it, it probably feels way longer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The perceived time is probably
like
really
super,
long.
super long time. It's estimated that about, depending on the survey you look at, because it's different across the world, who's taken it, a third to a half of people have experienced or will experience an episode of sleep paralysis at some point in their lives. So just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Yeah, it's kind of scary. But there are things that you can do.
I'm going to crawl into a ball.
Prevent it.
Okay.
Don't sleep. No, I'm just kidding.
Check.
So it's funny because when you look this up on WebMD, who you think is like very serious, you know, it says, what can I do about sleep paralysis? The first sentence is, there's no need to fear nighttime demons or alien abductors.
Oh.
If you have occasional sleep paralysis, you can take steps at home to control this disorder. So they're calling it a sleep disorder.
Okay.
So the biggest thing is making sure that you're getting enough sleep, because I think it's caused by basically irregular like sleep cycles.
Okay.
Some other contributing factors, and this doesn't mean that every single person who has these things is going to get sleep paralysis, and also doesn't mean that just because you have sleep paralysis, this is the reason why. The contributing factors include stress, someone who's experienced trauma, someone who has anxiety or has depression. Those are all things that can make you more prone to getting sleep paralysis or experiencing it. People who have substance abuse, contribute. Those who have substance abuse problems.
There you go.
All right. It's also associated with sleep disorders like narcolepsy and nighttime leg cramps.
Ooh.
So there's actually been a lot of commercials lately about narcolepsy and saying that the sleep paralysis is associated with that. So they're like, oh, if you have sleep paralysis, it could be a symptom of your narcolepsy, which is a sleep disorder. Like having, like basically you're always tired. And I'm picturing like Shiloh Howell when he like ties her hair up. Nope, you haven't seen that one either?
I have seen that.
Remember when she keeps falling asleep in her soup at dinner, so he ties her hair to the booth?
I don't remember that part.
Okay, well it's
surprise.
It's funny, but not funny. Anyways, sleeping on your back can also result in that, and I can imagine that most of the people experiencing it are on their back because they're feeling the demon on their chest. So sleep on your side. Do yoga. Don't stress out, because stress is a big part of it. And of course, thinking about it probably gives you more stress and leads to it. So it's like the self-perpetuating thing.
I'm gonna have sleep paralysis tonight.
Yeah, it's not good. It's mostly just scary, but nothing is actually physically happening. I know, but you
don't know that when it's, because the things are in your room.
Yeah, it's in your most vulnerable state. You're literally unable to move. you're sleeping, trying to relax, and it's happening to you. But you're physically okay, unless I don't know though, but your story.
Yeah, apparently you can also just die
in the middle of the night. So, but don't let this stress you out. If you're, disclaimer, if you get triggered by sleep paralysis talk
and death,
stop listening now. Sorry.
I think that boat's sailed.
Yeah. So genetically speaking, there was a study done in England, Wales.
How dare you?
England/Wales.
They're not the same.
The area of England, Wales. That's why I was like, I know you're going to correct me. Just writing what they said. There was a study done on twins.
Ooh, those are my favorite kinds.
Favorite kinds of people or favorite kinds of
studies?
Okay, I thought you meant like twins are your favorite kinds, like
of humans.
I'm
sure they're nice.
They're great. So there was 862 participants. I'm glad that's an even number because that wouldn't make sense. So they're basically the overall conclusion of their study was that there was moderate genetic influence on sleep paralysis. They said about 53%, but then they made some disclaimer that they didn't apply a certain statistic standard, so maybe it's not that significant. But they're saying that there's something there. It's not there.
It might not be significant.
It might not be so significant, but that there needs to be more studies done is what they basically got at.
Okay.
But where they did find that there were polymorphisms, that kind of hurt, or variations in this gene, which is called the PER2 gene, which stands for period circadian regulator 2. That basically can result in like disrupting the sleep cycles. And so they said that that's what the future research should examine are those specific polymorphisms or variations in the genes that are associated with the differences in circadian rhythms and sleep homeostasis. So basically just genetic variations that are basically controlling how you sleep well.
And if you have those mutations, then you might be more susceptible.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean you're going to get it for sure, but maybe it's something you inherit. Maybe, if you have it and your parents have it, it's like, oh, your children are more likely to have it.
Interesting.
Because it could be tied. But this is something that's I don't think it's quite as investigated because you're not being physically harmed.
Yeah.
It's more
just scary.
I think that's where this is all going, right? It's like, is it psychological or is it genetic? Is it chemical in your brain?
Yeah.
I think it's probably a combination, like nature over nurture, the stress, environmental conditions versus are you more likely to have them? Do you sleep on your back? Do you do yoga? All those adding up. I mean, there's other ways to relieve stress other than yoga. You can do martial arts. You can choke people.
Meditation.
But that's controlled choking. That sounds bad. You can do meditation. You can
have the demons choke you.
Candles. No. You choke the demons, not the other way around.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't. Oh my gosh. You don't get real. Okay. I'm gonna stop there. I thought you were trying to say you get relaxed by getting choked. But that's not what I was saying at all. I meant like take out your stress in a productive manner. Now Katie can't breathe. No, it's happening. Oh man, you get it.
Oh dear.
So yeah, basically just maintaining like a regular sleep routine.
Okay.
Not being a screeching. What do they call it? Screeching owl.
A screech owl.
Screech owl. Don't stay out all night. Try to avoid stimulants, especially alcohol. Exercise regularly, whatever that means to you. Eat well and avoid eating late at night.
Ooh.
So don't party all night and then get Taco Bell at 2 a.m. I've done that. It's awesome.
Did the demons come?
Nope.
There you go.
Nope. The Taco Bell protected me from the She-Man and the demon baby.
It's a demon
baby. It's like one of my favorite things to say. Baby.
Baby.
It's also important. Oh, this is what I already said. To just really, don't be stressed and take care of your mental health. So it's like
treat yourself.
Take
Self-care.
A bath. Do your nails, man or woman, doesn't matter.
Get one of the head massager things.
Yeah, those feel great. You also look like a little virus, like a little alien thing with a thing on your head. But yeah, just take some deep breaths. It's going to be okay. Those aren't real demons. But let's talk about scary demons. Let's talk about people's stories.
Oh my gosh.
Should I tell you about my friend?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't ask her if I could say her name, so I'm not gonna say her name.
Maybe no.
But she knows who she is.
Hello, friend.
Hey, girl. So what's funny is I actually reached out to her, because I ran into her boyfriend. So I reached out to her and I was like, "Hey, someone told me that you get like this is random. Can you tell me about your sleep paralysis?" She was like, "Oh, that's so funny because about 30 minutes ago I was taking a nap and I had an episode." So it doesn't matter if it's at night or a nap. You can't trust any of it. Because you technically, I mean, if you're in REM sleep, it can happen. Or if you don't know, if your body's like, I'm not sure. So anyways, this is her story. I'm just going to read this verbatim so that you can hear it from her words. So I was like, we just want to hear about your sleep paralysis. Give us a little description, what it's like, how you felt, yada, yada. She says, "It's absolutely terrifying. The best way I can explain it is it feels like there is 1,000-pound weight covering your entire body, pushing you into the bed, and you're stuck. You can't breathe. You can't move at all. You can't talk or yell or scream for help. You're completely aware of your surroundings. You feel like you can see everything around you, but you can barely open your eyes. You hear sounds sometimes or voices depending on if you're in a dream or a nightmare. Most times that I've had it, I'm having a nightmare. It feels like you're paralyzed, hallucinating, and on the brink of death, and you just fight it until it's over, and then you can't even sleep after because you're horrified that it's just going to happen again." And I was like, that's insane. Have you ever, seen anything while you've hallucinated? And she said yes, multiple times, like faces and random things. Ugh. So it sounds like she's had it more than once. She's quite familiar, and it's crazy that it can happen that often, and even in naps. Like, you think naps are supposed to be happy. You're not really supposed to have nightmares when you have a nap, except for when you have a nap and you're falling asleep and then you trip and fall and hit your face. I've had that several times. Let's hear your story.
Okay. This story is from my boyfriend.
Wait, should we turn off the lights and turn on the flashlights?
No, I'm already scared.
Flashlights on, lights off.
She's lying.
Pretending. Go.
All right. So he said it was when he was 13 or so. And
this is a long time ago. Your boyfriend is not young.
No.
This was like
everything's legal.
Over 15 years ago? Something like that.
15-ish.
All right.
And it's funny because when you're explaining it, what sleep paralysis is, I didn't know that it could be when you're going into sleep. So that's when his was. Where he was not really asleep but not really awake. Mm-hmm. And he said that he felt something or someone holding down both his arms and both of his legs. And then there was a person standing over him talking, but he couldn't really hear the words or see him that well.
So it was a man. Mm-hmm. So, but the person standing over him is not the same.
No, there was it was something, there was something keeping him, holding him down on all the limbs, and then also a man standing over him, looking at him.
Yeah. Who he did not know.
No. And then he says that's the only one he remembers, but I thought he was telling me, when we first started dating, that he also had an episode where there was a girl in the corner of his room. No. And with red eyes or something, but I don't know. He said that he's it could have happened.
It could have been an ex-girlfriend. It didn't work out. She was creepy.
Maybe. But, and then also, I didn't tell him I was going to say this one, but when we were on vacation in Edinburgh, we stayed at a B&B, and then we were in I'm assuming it was at some point an attic or something, but the top room. So we were on the roof, and the roof was slanted. And of course it was a huge storm. And so all the stuff on the roof were tinkering and making loud crashing noises. Mm-hmm. So
and you're in the attic at this point.
Yeah, and there was a skylight, which was kind of cool.
Okay.
But it was just really hard to sleep because it was really scary and like loud. And then all the rain's hitting the skylight and all that stuff. So I was having trouble sleeping to begin with. It's late at night, so we're trying to sleep. And then he turns over, he's like, is it okay if I turn the light on? And I was like, okay, why? And he's like, because there's demons in the corner.
And was he awake?
I don't know. But I was like, I did not sleep the rest of that night.
No, he was dead serious.
Mm-hmm. And then I asked him later, and he's like, oh, it's probably because I just had too much to drink. But I think he was trying to make me not scared.
That's one of the triggers, though.
Yeah, so whether or not he was, like, really seeing them or not. But we slept with the lights on after.
I can't sleep with the lights on, so you probably not sleep very well.
But I was like, that was probably the scariest thing. That's because it was very and like almost nonchalant, but just like very straightforward. Like, oh well, because there's demons in the corner.
Matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing, but I'm really scared.
I'm scared. I'm getting hot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you guys want to hear more?
Yeah. Everyone says yeah.
Okay. Let's read this one. This is from boomhowdy.com. I really like the name of it.
Boom Howdy?
Boom Howdy. The article is called 12 Sleep Paralysis Stories That Will Keep You Up at Night. So let's see. This one, or should I do this one? Shall we do The Darkness Grows, It Smiled at Me?
Ew.
Or Take a Seat?
I don't know. Take a seat sounds less scary, but then maybe the person sitting on them.
I mean, people get sit on, sounds like constantly. In all of these cases, that's like the for sure thing. All right. I wasn't going to do this one, but now I kind of want to. Let me just show Katie the picture.
Ew, no.
Yes. Yes. All right. So this is all a story, a quote by someone. Sleep paralysis is a terrifying phenomenon. Unless this has already been read or you know this one, then stop me. If you've ever experienced it, you know what I mean. If you haven't, then count yourself lucky. Most people who will experience this at least once or twice. I've had it 5 times exactly. I researched it after the 3rd time. What? I would research it like immediately. And now I take active precautions against it happening anymore. I've learned sleeping on your back in an unfamiliar or unsafe location can trigger it more easily, but really it can happen anytime. Those are I'm thinking of
yeah. Please.
I'm thinking of your boyfriend now. Anyways, back to the story. Back to the good part. The final time happened 2 years ago when I was 20.
Why does it say final time?
I think he means like the last time.
Oh, that's not a great choice of words.
The final time. I didn't even catch that. Happened 2 years ago when I was 20. I had bought a new bed and didn't have the frame yet, so I laid it on the floor to sleep on it for the night. It was in front of my dark closet and I dozed off. Side note, Kylie's story. I keep my closets closed because I have issues with them. I hate closets. I don't know if I want to read the rest of this. Okay, I'm going. Face your fears, Kylie.
I would like to give you a trigger warning.
Oh my God. I'm like actually scared.
I can read
I woke up, nope, that's going to be worse. I woke up paralyzed and my closet door was in front of me. This time I was scared but calm. The last experience, okay, I guess that wasn't the final time. That wasn't so bad. The last experience was so shocking that this time couldn't possibly be as bad.
Wrong.
I simply watched as the dark closet, oh no, we're back, began to grow and grow, to take form and spread throughout the room.
Ew.
I recalled the second time when the darkness took form in the corner of my room and simply assumed that this time it would be no different. Can you hear my voice cracking out of fear? Oh man. As the darkness began to grow and form in the middle of the closet, there was something.
No.
Oh. Someone in there began to walk out.
Ew.
It was the same figure from before, except it had a mouth this time.
Uh-oh.
And it smiled at me.
Well, that's nice.
I woke up. Maybe he's nightmaring.
Maybe he's just like, hey, what's up, man?
Oh, maybe. Okay, it smiled at him and then he's like able to move. as in he woke up. Since this incident, I have not had sleep paralysis. It has been 2 years now, and I live in a different state, and I'm married. Oh, there's the fix.
So there you go.
Get married.
And move.
Live in a different state. I take every precaution I can every night to not have it again. I refuse to fall asleep on my back. I don't eat before bed, and I make sure I feel safe. I have a feeling this figure I encountered wants to see me more, and I don't want that to ever happen again. See, this sounded like I was plugging this in from like the WebMD, like things you should do. Mm-hmm. But that was really a story by Just Joseph.
Joseph.
Boom howdy.
Boom.
Howdy.
.com.
But crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But also maybe he was just friendly.
No. It's probably an evil smile, not a happy smile.
He's just like, hey man, just checking to see how your nap's going.
He's like, look, I whitened my teeth. And then he shows him his fangs.
Ew.
I'm imagining fangs. Also because the picture has fangs. Oh no, it doesn't. It's just scary. Do you have another story?
I've also felt that that weight part before.
Really?
Yeah. Which is kind of scary. Like if that's like a symptom of it or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. So sorry, you tell your story.
No, I was just going to say there's been a couple of times where I feel like I've kind of woken up, or it might have been like right before like falling asleep, and I kind of wake up, but I guess that's the paralysis part where it's like I couldn't move and my body felt like it was 5,000 pounds.
Yeah.
But thank God there was nothing scary.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird. And then I think I just fell asleep. Because I remember it, yeah. Like just feeling kind of weird. But I was like, and maybe that has to do with something being like in a safe space, because like my own bed. Mm-hmm. And so I think I just recognized like, oh, my body must be going to sleep now. And then I was like, good night.
Good night.
But this feels weird.
Yeah, maybe like there's a scale depending on, do you match all of these checkpoints? That's like how much more severe your sleep paralysis will be. My dad actually told me a story. It's kind of funny. It's not funny, but his only experience with sleep paralysis, because this just goes to show that it could be different depending. We don't have to do the second story, by the way. I also have a story, actually. I think I told you before, but I'll tell you again.
Ooh, tell me.
That way we're done with this.
Ooh, I know.
Yeah, I think you do know. Okay, so then the one with my dad, he said he was in his early 20s. I'm guessing they were probably him and his buddy were drinking or something like that. That's one of the triggers.
I hope they were 21 or older.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes, Katie. Grandma Katie. No, I'm just kidding. But kind of Grandma Katie. So he says that he was taking a nap after hanging out with his friend. And picture like they had a giant couch. So they're sleeping on each end of the couch, kind of facing each other. But the couch is so long they can't touch feet. And my dad said his friend was awake. And my dad, his eyes open, and he's looking at his friend, and he's aware that his friend is looking at him, and he's also aware he can't move. Like we're talking, and it's funny because I already know what's gonna happen, but I'm still kind of scared.
I'm scared.
But this one's more funny than scared.
Okay, good. So I was imagining like and then his friend turned into like some like awful creature thing.
Yeah, no.
Okay, good.
So he's staring at his friend, and he's aware that he can't physically move his arms or legs, and so he can't talk. That's the other thing. I don't think you can talk in any of these scenarios. But for him, for some reason, I don't know if he was actually doing it or he thought he was doing it, but he's mouthing help, but his mouth is just moving. Like Katie's laughing so he can't move, and his friend's like, what are you doing? Like, stop. Like, what's wrong with you? And he just keeps mouthing it. And then after a couple seconds, he's able to move. And his friend's like, what the hell was that? And he's like, I don't know. I couldn't move. Like, I was like, like with that sleep paralysis, paralyzed.
Isn't that crazy? That's part of the sleep paralysis too then. Because I've had those dreams where I'm trying to scream, but I can't. So I wonder if that's what it looks like if someone was watching, of just mouthing.
I feel like that's almost more of that REM behavior disorder.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Because actually I have a story for that one day too.
Ooh.
I think I've already told you, but it's really funny. Anyways, and then my story, this is the thing. I don't know if it was sleep paralysis. That's why I think that there's probably like a spectrum of sleep paralysis where some people experience it like the lower end, like my dad, which is kind of funny, scary, but funny. And then, but then the actual demons, like your boyfriend and these other stories we've talked about, and like my friend who heard their stories. So mine is something kind of in between. I don't think my eyes were open. I sure hope not. But it's that one, like if I had like a thing that scares me a lot besides closets, is The Nun from The Conjuring and also the movie The Nun. That one just freaks me out so much.
Yuck.
And in my dream, this is the one where I was like laying down, like sinking into the, like almost like, I don't know if it was into the ground or what, but I just felt like all this pressure on my body, like falling down weight. And I remember trying to get up and I can just feel like all this, and I can hear, that's the crazy part, is I could hear the noises from the movie where it's like, or something like that.
Like the creepy music.
Like this, it was almost like I was in the movie and I'm laying there and I can't move and I can just feel her suddenly coming towards me. And almost like I'm looking at myself and I'm like, yeah, this is happening. Like in my head, I'm like, it's okay. Like it's happening. Like I accepted it. I was scared, but I accepted it. It was really weird. But I wasn't awake. So I don't remember. Maybe it was sleep paralysis, or maybe I was levitating above my body. And
maybe because you accepted it, the fear
went away. So accept it. Be like, I see you. Stare them down. Just like our first episode, we talk about making eye contact. Make the eye contact.
Come out of the closet, creepy shadow man.
Come out.
Whatever. Come out. Yeah, it's fine.
Come hang out. Closet, get bigger. It's fine.
It's fine. Whatever.
You're gonna go back to normal in a second. I hope. Keep your closets closed is the moral of the story. Sleep
or
on your
just
side.
Don't have doors.
No. I don't want to see the darkness.
Curtains.
No, curtains are way worse because then the ghosts go behind it and take the form of the curtain. The curtain takes the form of the ghost. Haven't you seen? I think it's called like the house on the haunted house on the hill or hill.
No.
House on the haunted hill.
House.
What?
Hill house.
No, it's basically like there's a curtain in the window and a ghost goes into the curtain, and so the curtain takes the form of the ghost. No curtain, just have closet doors.
But then you have the closet door.
You know what? Have any? No, but mine's a slider and makes no noises, so I'd rather not know. But the point is, if you have closets with no doors, don't invite me over because I'm not gonna sleep there.
Well, then you can leave.
Okay, bye, Katie. This is
sleep.
This is the end of our podcast. Last episode didn't last that long. But anyways, yeah, it's terrifying. And the thing is, it's real and it's been around for a long time.
But yeah, I have heard of people that they prop themselves up with pillows and stuff while they're laying on their side.
Are you talking about me?
No, I meant like they lay on their side and then they put pillows behind them so that they can't really even roll over. Because that could even be like a
sleep apnea thing too. I'm just saying, like the stuff that I went through, like the GERD and stuff. Yeah. I wonder if all of those also trigger.
Probably.
Like not breathing well, and then you're not getting the right oxygen to your brain, and you're not sleeping well. It all tied together.
It's just overall, for this one, just be overall healthy.
Yeah, just
mentally,
take care of yourself.
Physically.
Yeah.
It's all that good stuff.
Don't watch scary movies before bed. Don't eat late.
Don't talk about sleep paralysis and demons right before bed.
Dang it. Why are we doing this?
Good night.
But let's talk happy stuff for like 1 second, even if we cut this out, just to make us feel better.
So everyone look up some videos of puppies being adopted.
Oh,
or
I was just picturing them slobbering over eye sockets.
Well, don't do that.
No.
Or the videos where military people surprise their families.
Yeah, or where those people hide from their dogs.
Yeah.
When military people surprise their dogs.
Yes.
That's where we just went.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, those make me cry.
I know, but they're happy cries. And then you'll forget all about the demons that are hiding
Katie,
in your
don't
closet.
bring it up. Don't bring it up. Well, technically they're in your head / everywhere. / what if you're already... Ooh.
Uh-oh.
What if they're already there and your brain is opening a portal?
Oh my God, why would you say that?
Sorry. I'm just saying because, they say like... if you're religious, like they say that you're surrounded by demons every day and the angels are fighting them. That's like a common thing. Like if we're talking about the different history and religions have different forms of demons. What if that's it? How old was that house that you guys stayed in the attic?
Oh, I'm sure.
Why would you stay in the attic?
Well, I don't know if it might have been the attic at one point, but it was they converted it into a room.
Definitely haunted. That was Scotland.
Mm-hmm. So it was probably old AF because it was like in the older part.
Mm-hmm.
I think
ancient Scotland demons, unicorn demons.
Yeah, just trying to feed you.
You never
haggis.
described them.
I didn't really want to ask.
I think the weird part is that people just know it's a demon. That part is unsettling to me. I mean, all of it's unsettling, but that like internal knowledge that your brain is like, we know what that is.
I like to picture them though to make myself not really scared. Like the old fashioned like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove, where it's just in like a red spandex suit with like red like devil horns and a tail,
like when they're on his shoulder and like, here are 3 reasons why like breaks it down.
No, he's got a point.
Yeah. He's like the one-handed,
look what I can do.
One-handed handstands. No, he's got a point.
Yeah.
Oh, Emperor's New Groove makes me feel better personally.
Yeah, so you could just pop that in.
Yeah.
Or I guess you don't really have to
Well, don't picture Yzma because she's kind of demonic.
Yeah.
This is for anyone who's seen the movie Emperor's New Groove. If you haven't, I'm sure you've stopped listening by now. They're like, this is not my cup of tea.
Bye.
But for real. Yeah, so thanks for listening. Watch. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Listen and watch.
Listen and watch The Emperor's New Groove. Here's a list of to do tonight.
Okay.
Emperor's New Groove.
Mm-hmm.
Right before bed.
Mm-hmm.
Also.
But don't eat while you're watching it.
Or drink. Or substance abuse.
Or stress
out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Don't break the sleep cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your heart.
Listen.
When he's calling for you. Text him back.
Who's he? The demon?
Oh. We're trying to move past this.
Sorry.
And
I'm bringing it back.
Oh, yeah. The puppy videos. The puppies surprising. No.
Oh, well.
The military people coming home surprising their dogs and their children. I think those are both cute. Yes. Those are equal.
Mm-hmm.
But
at sporting events.
It's just surprising how excited animals get, I guess. That's why it's like extra exciting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when they're surprised, it's so cute. And then you happy cry. And then you watch Emperor's New Groove. And then you laugh.
And then you fall asleep happy.
Happy and on your side. We're all on the same page here. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. You can find our sources at you'renotparanoid.com, and then you enter the site with that button that says enter site. And then it says sources at the top. If you want to learn about us, you go to about. If you want to listen to our episodes, go to it's actually listen. And then that's what we do here. We listen to podcasts. And then there's also contact us. So if you have experienced these things like sleep paralysis, that's what we're talking about here, right?
Or any other
things like
You're Not Paranoid
Emperor's
topics.
New Groove. Oh, podcast related. Okay.
Well, no, I mean
anything we've talked about.
Anything we've talked about or things you want us to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. Suggestions are welcome. Maybe we'll bring up other things too, like we've alluded to with the waking up in your sleep and acting out your dreams.
Yes.
Well, not really waking up, acting out your dreams rather.
While you're asleep.
We're also we're very social. Well, a little bit social. You can find us on Instagram, You're Not Paranoid. That's YOURE, not paranoid. One word. No apostrophe. Thank you, Katie, for pointing your finger with every syllable. Oh, you missed that one. We're also on Twitter. You can tweet us. Tweet us at YNP Podcast. That's YNP Podcast. Or email us directly if you don't want to go on the website because you think that's weird. You're not paranoid at gmail.com. I don't know. People might not want to go on the website. It's either just a Gmail us, email us. So thanks for listening, and we're sorry if we freaked you out. But
I hope you don't have sleep paralysis nightmares.
Yeah, but if you do, you're okay. Nothing bad's going to happen to you, and you're not paranoid. Good night.
Good night.
Or good morning.
And goodbye.
Good afternoon. And goodbye. Oh my god. Did you just squeal too?
Yeah.
Oh